For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorials.com, memorials that matter, and Lilligards, your local Mahindra dealer on Highway 13 West, Wahpeton. Brothers Eric and Olaf Jacobson were arrested Saturday evening for second-degree assault. According to court documents, officers responded to a report of assault in the 500 block of 2nd Avenue in Fergus Falls at around 4:35 Saturday afternoon. The victims told officers that they were sitting in a pickup when 46-year-old Eric Jacobson approached them and began yelling at them to leave. Eric then went back to his apartment and returned to the truck with his brother, 47-year-old Olaf Jacobson. The victims stated that Olaf had a knife in his right hand and a sheath in his left, and that both brothers moved toward them aggressively. Officers were able to identify the brothers using video taken by the victims and witnesses that supported the victims' claims. The brothers once again retreated to their apartment, where they both acquired metal bats. Additional video footage showed Eric lunge at one of the victims while having the bat cocked back in his hands and then continuing to advance at another victim. Officers first located Eric, who was on the living room couch in their shared apartment. They announced themselves and told Eric he was under arrest, and he was taken into custody without incident. Olaf was located in a bedroom. When the officers went to arrest him, he said that he was not under arrest and resisted officers' attempts at placing him in handcuffs. One of the officers had to resort to taking out his taser as Olaf was not complying with commands. He continued to resist and was eventually forced onto a mattress and was detained. Officers searched the apartment and located the knife and bats used in the incident. The Jacobson brothers made their first court appearance Tuesday morning. They are both charged with 2 counts of felony assault with a dangerous weapon, and Olaf is also charged with misdemeanor obstructing the legal process. An attempted arrest of a man in White Earth late Sunday resulted in a standoff with law enforcement. At around 7:25 Sunday evening, Becker County Sheriff's deputies went to a residence in White Earth to locate 50-year-old Robert James Azura Sr., who was wanted on both felony and misdemeanor arrest warrants. After receiving permission to search the residence, a deputy saw a man and recognized him as Azura. The deputies advised Azura that he was under arrest, but he locked himself inside a bedroom and made threatening statements about shooting the deputies. Several additional deputies, as well as White Earth and Callaway police officers, then responded to the scene. Over an hour later, Azura voluntarily came out of the bedroom and was taken into custody. Azura was booked into Becker County Jail on warrants out of Mahindra and Becker counties for felony drug possession and burglary, as well as misdemeanor warrants for violation of an order for protection and domestic assault. The investigation is pending. A Pura man is charged with felony terrorizing after being accused of holding his ex-girlfriend against her will and threatening to kill her at a Fargo hotel. Court records say police were called to the hotel last week, where the woman told them Jamie Frazee took her phone, keys, purse, and SUV. She told Frazee she was going home and said he flipped. The woman says Frazee tried to put a cigarette out on her face, put a knife to her throat about a half-dozen times, and told her he wanted to kill and dismember her. Officers say they found a knife in the SUV. Frazee was arrested and taken to the Cass County Jail. A semi-crash in rural Dent leaves almost a third of the cattle being transported dead. The Otter County Sheriff's Department responded to the crash at around 9:05 Tuesday evening. According to officials, a semi hauling 37 head of cattle overturned while attempting to turn off westbound County Highway 35 onto 360th Street. Holes were cut in the top and bottom of the trailer to get the cattle out. 7 cattle were killed in the crash and 4 others were euthanized at the scene. The surviving cattle were taken from the scene by a private party. The 27-year-old driver from Wichita, Kansas was uninjured. A grandmother from Swan Lake is charged with child endangerment after leaving her infant grandchild in a ditch. According to court documents, the Otter County Sheriff's Department responded to a child welfare check at around 4:30 Tuesday afternoon. A witness was driving and observed a woman near the roadway wearing no socks or shoes and holding an infant. At the time, the temperature was in the 50-degree range and it was windy and raining. The witness pulled up next to the woman and asked if she was okay. The woman told the witness that she was and continued walking. The witness pulled over nearby and watched the woman as she walked into the ditch and then saw she was no longer holding the infant as she ran away from the area. the witness found the infant lying on the ground in the ditch and contacted law enforcement. Officers searched the area and found the woman in the woods. They identified her as 52-year-old Anastasia Vaughn and as the grandmother of the infant. She showed signs of intoxication and seemed confused as she told officers that she was looking for a child. Vaughn's husband came to the scene and told officers that he did not know why she had come outside with the infant. He said that the two of them had been watching both of their grandchildren at the residence nearby when he noticed that she was running away from the building with the infant, and he went to look for her. He also confirmed that she had been drinking earlier that day. Vaughn was placed under arrest and was transported to the Ottertail County Detention Facility. She agreed to speak with officers and told them she did not remember what happened and refused to tell officers how much she had to drink. She completed a preliminary breathalyzer that indicated an alcohol concentration of 0.229. Vaughn made her first court appearance Thursday morning. One man is injured after not wearing his seatbelt during a crash on I-94. The Minnesota State Patrol responded to a single vehicle accident on I-94 near mile marker 56 at around noon on Wednesday. The vehicle had been traveling east when it left the roadway. The driver, 19-year-old Brock Kawat of Kilkenny, suffered non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to Sanford Hospital for treatment. Officials report that Kawat was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident. A Wadena woman was injured in a semi-crash outside of Verndale. The Minnesota State Patrol responded to the crash at around 3:02 Wednesday afternoon. According to officials, both vehicles were heading east on Highway 10 near mile marker 99 when they collided. 65-year-old Terry Jean Kangas of Wadena was transported to Lakewood Hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The semi-driver from Virginia was not injured. On Halloween Day, law enforcement was investigating potential human remains in the Ottertail River. The Ottertail County Sheriff's Department received the report at around 6:38 Wednesday evening. The witnesses told officials that they had seen the possible remains in the river just west of the city limits of Fergus Falls. Investigators from the Fergus Falls Police Department, Minnesota BCA, and the Sheriff's Office located the suspicious items and determined them to be Halloween decorations that had been discarded in the river for what appeared to be an extended amount of time. World champion beatboxer Kayla Melody will be performing in Fergus Falls this November as a featured guest artist at M-State's 2024 Fall Band and Choir concert. Her talents will be spotlighted in both a solo set and joint performances with the college's voice ensemble, concert choir, and chamber chorale. After seeing the beatboxer perform with another choir last spring and being moved by the experience, M-State music faculty Laura Quainton secured a grant through the Fergus Area College Foundation to bring Melody to M-State. As part of the grant, she will spend a week with M-State's music students, working with the choirs and leading a session with the hip-hop class. The concert will be held Thursday, November 14th at 7 in the evening in Legacy Hall on the M-State campus in Fergus Falls. Tickets are available at the door or in advance at the Fergus Falls campus store. This has been the Weekly News Recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorials.com, memorials that matter, and Lilligards, your local Mahindra dealer on Highway 13 West, Wahpeton. For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian. Tune in every Friday at 12:30 on KBRFradio.com or on the Fergus Now app to stay up to date with local news. Get more news at KBRFradio.com. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.